Okay, everybody, I am recording. Let's talk about today's lesson. So I'm on page 365, and we're talking about graphing systems of equations. So we did this. We graphed the first line. X plus y is greater than 1. So I know it's going to be a straight line, and the easiest way to do it is by intercept. So I took it, and I set it equal to x plus y equals 1. If I do intercepts, or the cover-up method, if x is 0, y is 1, so I put a point there at 1. Okay. And if y is 0, then x is a 1, so I put a point there at 1, and then I connect the dots. I know it's greater than, so I shaded everything above. On the second graph, I want to do by intercepts also. Again, I like the cover-up method. If I cover up x, or let x equals 0, then y is 3. So I have a value there. And if I cover up y, I got a negative x equals 3, or x is going to equal negative 3, so put a value there. It does say less than or equal to, so a solid line is shaded below. So shade, shade. So we're looking for today is where the two shadings overlap. So I shaded all of this above for the first equation. In pink, I shaded all this below the second graph in orange, and the two overlap in this region called D, and I tried to make that darker than the rest using a brown marker so you can see that the solution has to be only where they overlap. Okay, so then I tested points. Okay, so I tested point A first of all, knowing that it doesn't work at all, and I tested point A, which is here at negative 8, 2. We plug in negative 8, 2 into this first equation. Does not work. That's not true. Negative 6 is not less than 1. I plug negative 8, 2 into the second equation, and when I check that, 10 is not less than 3, so this is no on both. So then I picked a point here in the region of the orange, which is the second equation, and I tested that. 0 for x, 0 for y, and I've got really 0 greater than 1. No, that's not true. Then I tested it for the second equation. I got 0, 0. 0 is not less than 1. No, 0 is less than 1, so I think I got a yes on that one. Sorry about that. That's a yes. But it has to work for both. It has to work for both, okay? Then I test a point in the pink region, 6, 0, to show that it can work in the pink region, but it has to work in both. So 0, 6. I get 6 is greater than 1. Yes, it's true. But in the second graph, it doesn't not work. Put it in for x and y. It has to work for both. 6 is not greater than 1, so no. It has to work for both, so I got no for the solution, okay? And finally, I picked D, which should work for both. So I picked a point 4, 2. I just picked any point 4, 2. Plugged 4 and 2 for x and y, and it works. Put 4 and 2 in for this one, and it works. So it has to work for both, and it does. So obviously we knew that anything in region D is a solution. So it's all of these points, all of them. That's why we shade. Okay, then on the other page, we talked about the fact that if we were to graph these and they do intersect, is that a solution? Well, not in this case. So if you have a dashed line and they intersect in a point, because it's a dashed line, it has to be a no, because there is no point on that line. Okay, so for us, on this one, if we had a solution right there, because it's a dashed line, it won't work for this line, but it does for the first line because it's solid, but the second line it won't. So it has to work for both. So you either have to have both solid lines in order to have a solution that's the intersection point. Okay, and then 4 we graphed. We did on 4a we graphed this one, started at 3, went up 5 or 1, said greater than, so we shaded everything above. Second one we started at negative 3, we shaded everything, started at negative 3, up 5 or 1, and we noticed that these were parallel. Okay. So when we shade and shade, there's no solution. They don't overlap anywhere. They are parallel, okay? On B, if it's an x equals, here's my x-axis. X equals negative 5 is here. And I want everything greater than or equal to negative 5, which is all of these values because it's got to get bigger. And then x is greater than 1 is a dashed line at 1 on x equals 1. And I shaded here, and where the two overlap is right in here. So I made that darker. Okay, so that was the lesson for today. Homework was, I believe, page 369 and 370. So anyway, I will see you tomorrow.